Hello and welcome back to Gossip Break, the cherry on top of your day. I'm one of your co-hosts, Bri,
And I'm Becky.
and today we are doing a full pop culture episode. So no TV recaps today, but we do talk a little bit about TV because there was some recent news this weekend that we cannot wait to dive into, which is that the Real Housewives of New Jersey reunion is canceled. So we're not necessarily doing a recap on it today like we normally would, but that's because they don't deserve it because of this news. So
Yeah, no, they deserve nothing. I wonder what their ratings were last night because I didn't even blink when it was like 7 o'clock Central. Like I didn't even think of them at all. And again, we're on a podcast about them and I didn't even think about them.
I know it's getting sad. So, okay. So, yeah, we're going to be talking about RHONJ today. We're going to be talking about another cancellation, Miss J Lo and her tour, and then just some other little pop culture things throughout the weekend. Where should we start off with this?
I mean, let's just bite the bullet and rip the band-aid off. Also, side note, yesterday was Andy Cohen's birthday and he's a Gemini.
Of course he is. Happy birthday, Andy.
Happy birthday, you messy bitch. Of course you're a Gemini.
I saw this I think it was an Instagram. I think it was on Bravo TV that these girls got surprised with Andy and they were like boohoo crying because she was like, my dad's not really in my life and didn't make time for me. And I think that you're the best dad, how you make time for your kids and you're still so, successful. And oh my God, I was like, first I was like, okay, this is kind of crazy. But then I was like, you know what? No, this is kind of sweet just because he really does, I feel like, embrace the Bravo community.
He
He's not like
does.
just trying to like get his check and leave. Like he really cares about the audience. So that was cute.
No, he does. He is the ultimate girl dad if I've ever
Yes.
seen one.
100%.
So we thank you for that. So over the weekend, there was some not so surprising news that the traditional production of the reunion that we normally have for Housewives will not be happening for Jersey this season after 2 consecutive weeks of having the lowest ratings the series has ever had in its 14 seasons.
It's really bad for them. We have been saying this. I mean, we literally almost last week were like, should we keep recapping this? Because
No,
it's just been the
literally.
same exact thing. So I was kind of not shocked that this came out. Becky and I were just like texting this whole week and we are like, wait a minute, we need to just like make this a whole episode because like that's literally
Yes.
all our gossip breaks are, just like
Like it
texting
and
furiously.
no, like furiously texting about the golden days of Bravo. I don't know what year it was. I guess maybe like 2010 to like 2017. We had like a really, really good run of not only Housewives, but Bravo in general. And now it just seems like everything's going to shit. Like they rebooted RHONJ. They're getting rid of they put on pause Martha's Vineyard. And it seems like every time there's a show that's not Housewives related, it gets the boot. But then even the Housewives themselves are like, it's giving budget cuts. Like they are
Yeah.
like struggling. And we can tell as the audience.
Yeah, totally. We can tell. It is a little bit frustrating because and I think it's kind of across like all reality TV franchises where it's just gotten to this stage where people are trying to come on for obviously for clout and for exposure to be
Mhm.
seen. Even if you have the best of intentions at this point, you know it's going to drastically change your life. Like if, for example, these girls on The
Yes.
Bachelor and The Bachelorette, like only one of you
Mhm.
guys is getting picked. You know that there's a much larger chance of you being able to like build some kind of brand for yourself and making money that way than ending up with the lead. So I just think that it's gotten into this thing where it's like all these new reality shows have people
Yes.
who come on with agendas and it's like not authentic. So it just doesn't feel the same as it used to when it was just like messy, good old fashioned reality TV. Like we were really just a fly on the wall and they kind of weren't aware of the
Yes.
cameras. Now it's like they're way too aware of the
Mhm.
cameras.
Yeah, and they're trying to like make TikTok sounds like I mean this past
Yes.
season of Love is Blind, if anyone watched it, like half the cast was in a relationship and then go on a show to get married to someone else
And that's what
because
happened
they
on The
know.
Bachelor now too.
Yeah.
Like a lot of that's
Yeah.
been happening recently because you go on there for other reasons than to end up with the person. So it's like if when we've gotten to that point, we've literally lost the plot.
No, literally because at least in Housewives, it's literally called the real Housewives of whatever city. Half of y'all aren't housewives. Half of y'all don't have a husband, or you lost them somewhere in season 4 and 5. Like,
I
what the
mean,
fuck is going on?
Beverly Hills is like, is this like the first time the whole cast has been single?
Wait,
Because Garcelle's single, Kyle is now separated, Dorit separated, Erica's single, Crystal got the boot, Anna Marie got the
wow.
boot, and they had the relationships. Sutton's single. Who else? There has to be somebody.
Erica.
Yeah, we said Erica. She, oh my gosh.
No, they're all single. And wait a minute.
Oh, what
Wait
about
a
the new
minute.
housewives? Bazoma. I don't know if I'm pronouncing her name right.
Bazoma, I believe she is married still. Let me pull out my journalistic skills. Thank you, Portia Williams.
Oh my
Um,
gosh. Wow. That's kind
I
of
believe she's
crazy.
married. Oh, St. John was married to her husband from 2003 until his death in 2013.
Oh my gosh. So she's a widow.
Oh my gosh.
This is going to be a, as they like to say in reality TV, unprecedented season. No, because really, we haven't seen this before. I mean, not obviously to say that they have to be married, but that is what the housewives started out as. So it's kind of interesting to get to this point, like the most, I would say, arguably well known, biggest franchise out of all of
Yes.
them right now is all single ladies. So that's interesting. We'll see how
Yeah,
that
because I'm
goes.
looking at the new cast for Atlanta as well, like the updated cast, and they're not okay. One of them's married, but like the OG girls, none of them are
Mhm.
married. It's
Interesting.
just like, and then again, we're producing storylines. And the fact that storylines is even like a thing we as the
Yeah.
audience and them as the talent know is like concerning to me as a viewer and as someone that knows how like production works.
Yeah,
It's
it's
just
like
not
half
good.
of it sucks because, we are talking about storylines and it's like, oh, this person is so boring. They need a better storyline. But then on the same hand, it's like, okay, we shouldn't be asking of that because it's literally like feeding into the inauthenticity. I don't even know if that's a word.
Yes.
Um,
Yeah.
so it's, yeah, I mean, the fans, I have to say, were kind of to blame as well. I can't put
Mm-hmm.
the blame fully on production and the housewives because,
Of
they're
course.
obviously pandering to us, but the producers kind of need to just like step in, do their job, not listen to the audience, and just do their job.
Yeah, like
Um,
let's look at ratings rather than what the audience wants. And you can always just tell when someone is digging, fishing for like just picking drama for essentially no reason. Like, let's go back to when, I don't know, when the Homeland Security came and got Jen Shaw off the bus. Like, that is a real
that wasn't even
moment.
that long ago, but it felt like it is so long ago.
Yeah, because now we have reality, like we could get on the Housewives and like infiltrate it at this point since they're
I
not
mean,
doing
yeah,
any
literally
sort of,
Rachel Fuda, Bravo Lover 1234, is
oh my
32
gosh.
years old. There's old pictures of her tagged with her old at name that was Bravo Lover 1234, and
Oh
she
my
is now
gosh.
on the Housewives. Like, if she can make it on the Housewives, any of us can. There
Anyone
is,
can.
like, I need to have some form of elitism, dare I say,
Yes, yes.
to
It's
make this
and
good.
yes, absolutely. Like, can we please like we watch it because it's out of touch?
It's
That's the
not
whole
relatable.
point.
That is the
Like,
point, that
yeah,
it's not
exactly. Like,
relatable.
yes, they spent $250,000 on a pinky ring. That's what I want to see. And at the same time, her kids are talking to her like they're fucking crazy. That is the balance that we want. We want something where it's like
Yes.
this is so out of like I didn't even know they had things like this. And then at home, it's like, okay, we all are kind of the same. But now it's just getting a little bit too relatable where it's like they're just letting anybody on the show. Like Jackie Goldschneider literally went to like Teresa's
Teresa's
cookbook
like,
signing in
yeah,
2008 and then came
that's
on the show with
crazy.
a bone to pick with Teresa.
Yeah, it's
Like,
crazy.
what's
Jersey is,
happening?
they let way too many people infiltrate Jersey. That should not have been there.
Yeah, it's like what happened to gatekeeping? Like it's
Like,
okay.
honestly,
Like
yeah, Danielle, I was starting to think that Danielle and Rachel Fuda were the change for this season. The more and more I watch, I'm like, no, we should have gate kept from them.
yes.
Because now it's turning Housewives into at least what I think, it's turning it into just something even trashier because Jersey, it used to be annoying, but at least there was like this level of wealth that all of them had. It does not feel that same vibe now. Like that level of old school wealth when Teresa still had the old house with Juicy Joe and it was like the all brown, like Italian inside, and
Yes, or
Caroline
even
Manzo's big house, Jacqueline Lorita's. Like she
yes.
used to have that huge foyer with the staircase. That's what I remember Jersey being. And now it's just
Like
it's not the
Danielle's
same.
house, I'm sorry, that's like it's like my parents' house. My parent, like, great for my parents, love them,
It's a
love
beautiful family home.
yeah, beautiful, normal, regular family home. I don't want to watch that because
Yeah.
I live that. I don't want to watch someone's dad driving a, I don't know, a Ford, whatever, a Dodge. Like, I don't want to see that. I want to see someone pull up in the Rolls Royce, even if they fraudulently got it, Teresa. Like, I don't even
Well,
care.
I
Like,
can.
yeah, like, let's, like, I want to see the wealth. Where is the money? Why are the housewives in Charlotte, North Carolina?
Oh my God. Potomac needs a drastic elevation, please.
Like, what's going on? Like, seriously, think of the original Roni. Sonia Morgan was married to JP Morgan family. That is like that's
Insanity.
like being married to a Rockefeller. We
I
went to
know.
from that to someone that has a fake PR firm. No, look around, everybody on mute because it's true. Like, what happened to the opulence? And not every Bravo show was about like rich divas. We used to have like other shows like Blood,
Well,
Sweat,
that's
and
what
Heels.
Vanderpump is for and Summer
Yes,
House and, like
yes.
these other shows because Vanderpump, like I mean, obviously they make more money now because they made money from the show. But when they first started off, they were like Tom Sandoval and Ariana lived in an apartment where you couldn't have the air conditioning on and the microwave on at the same time. Like they were struggle bus reality stars. And that's
And
why, and that was great for what it
I
was, but
want to
not for the
see that.
housewives.
No, not for the housewives, not for the level that we're at now. And it just seems like Bravo, like, is just chopping all these shows where it's like, okay, we're putting normal people on TV. Yeah, a few of them might be a little thirsty and act a little crazy in front of the camera, but like that's the beauty of reality TV. But now it's like, no, chop this show. Like Shaws of Sunset, they were like normal families in California. Just an
Mm,
average, like, no one came, like, yeah, they had real estate money. Like some of them were real estate and they had like a nice condo, but it wasn't like
yeah.
they lived in these mega mansions until they got to the point where the show was making enough money for them to live in mega
Mm-hmm.
mansions. But now on Housewives, we don't even see those mansions anymore. Like, when's the last time we
Yeah.
saw a good mansion?
Probably
Maybe Jennifer
Miami.
Yeah,
I was thinking Lisa's when it's not even her place anymore. He's ripping
yeah.
that from under her. I think she has a new place now, but that was like the last time I was like,
Yeah.
actually, and Dr. Nicole's
I was
house.
gonna say Dr. Nicole
Do you
Martin.
remember when we saw her place on my bachelorette party? We went to Miami for my bachelorette party and we were on a boat and there's this like insane house that sprawls out on like the corner of an island. We were like, damn, that's so nice. And then one of our friends looks it up and she's like, is that Dr. Nicole's house? Of course it is. Of course
Of
it's her
course
house.
it is. Meanwhile, Larsa is literally living in the apartment where, like, my friends that were in Miami were like, no, that really is where the drug dealers and the OnlyFans girlies live. Like, no shade to them, but she's
But she
like,
is falling into that stereotype. Is she not an
yeah, like she
OnlyFans
is
creator?
that brand of person. What the fuck is going on? Like, we need what Miss Bethany said, we need a reality reckoning. I'm tired of all these phony businesses
Not
popping up out
Bethany.
of anywhere with
But
these
yeah,
screen printed t-shirts and cheap merch. Like, I don't care that you said something funny last season and put it on a t-shirt. Who is buying that other than your family?
exactly.
Like,
It's
at least have a
embarrassing.
real, like, sturdy business. At least be like Vanderpump, and like, if Bravo TV got shut down today, she would be okay.
Yeah. And they approached her because she had already had Villa Blanca, the restaurant, and they were like, we like what you're doing over here. You're interesting. let's show this, rather than her being like, I'm cast on the show now. Now I'm going to open up a restaurant. Like that was always kind of her
Right.
passion before. So it expanded it. Whereas a lot of these housewives, they're just using this as an obvious cash grab and it doesn't align to like what they would actually do. So that's kind of annoying.
It's really sad to see because I don't know how we go up from here. It's obviously never going to be what it used to. So, like, there's no point in
Mm-hmm.
trying to wish, like, oh, I wish Vanderpump would come back to Beverly Hills or Nene would come back to Atlanta. It's never going to happen. So, stop
Yeah, it's
saying it.
just,
Like, we're going
I
to have
think
to move on.
they had to be super picky about the casting. I think that's the only way it's going to
Yes.
work is, and they also need to, okay, so for like, let's get back to Jersey, which is the core of this drama. The reunion is canceled. The show is literally in shambles. The ratings are so bad. And there's just a lot of fighting and distance between the women. They cannot get it together. And it's just making it very, very hard to watch. So it's like, I'm thinking in Jersey terms, like, how could they get past this? Well, obviously we want to see the drama, we want to see the arguments, but at the same time, like Jersey, it just like it makes me sick watching it because it's like they just get so nasty. They really hate each other, and they can't even be in the same room. Like this franchise was the same franchise who they had to do like two separate panels at BravoCon. Enough is enough. Like this is
Yes.
the distance is just too much at that point. And then on top of it, I do believe that Jersey's production hides a lot of things like on certain sides. I feel like, okay, so for like example, my family, like my stepmom watches New Jersey as well. I love her to death, but I feel like since she doesn't have social media, there's so much that she doesn't see that I see. So it's like, of course, she's
Mhm.
going to be like on Marge's or Rachel Fuda's side because she's like, wait, why would they come for her husband when he was only 17 and it was weed? And it's like, but we know because it's on social media. No, he was 21. It was a DUI. It was allegedly coke. Like it's, so, but because Rachel
Right.
just says it with straight facts on the show and they don't call her out for it, we just get away with it. I feel like other production, they're so like Potomac, they are so quick to call the girls out. If they're
Yes.
like they will always show a flashback to show them lying in the instance and it's funny. And I feel like they never do that with Jersey and it just like builds this narrative that like one side is in the right and the other side is stupid. Like, for example, again, I feel like they're making Jen Aiden look so stupid right now because they're not explaining the BravoCon drama. Why can't we just do a quick little flashback, show what happened off season, and then move on? Or so I just feel like that's a part of it as well, is that the audience is seeing like something different on the show than on off air. And it's like not connecting. I feel like the producers are not showing the full story, the full
Yeah.
context in Jersey, and it's making it really, really divisive. That could just be my opinion and I stand by that. Like that's what I believe. I'm not saying that's right. That's totally subjective, but that's just as a viewer, that's what I notice. And it's like really hard for me to watch it because like I said, I see the truth out there online, but it's never clarified on the show.
It's And at this point, it's catastrophic
It
to
is.
the production because guess what? Now we don't have a typical reunion.
Yep.
And you guys all know, like, you guys literally every single one of you, from Teresa to
Yep.
Marge
All of
to
them.
Melissa, you all should be shitting your pants right now because your job was already in jeopardy last season. And you just
Mm-hmm.
literally turned around and showed your ass and
And that's the
said, "Well,
thing
y'all are
is,
still gonna watch," and the joke's on you because
yep.
no one's watching.
Yep. We need to, I think, recognize, like you said, that it's not just one side as well, that it's all of
Yes.
them are contributing to this. Honestly, it's probably all of them besides Dolores. All of them are contributing in some ways. And it's gotten, yeah, so sickening to watch.
Yeah,
Like,
like
for example, like one of the biggest things right now of why I believe things are kind of happening is since Louis got introduced. And I totally see why a lot of people are hesitant of him. Like the stuff that came out with him, the season he came out was very fucking weird. However, a lot of stuff came out after the season that I don't believe like they shared, and I feel like they should have shared to make it like clarify some things of how crazy the last season ended. For example, they were trying to say about how he was like harassing his ex and stalking her, but
Mhm.
then after the season came out, the court cleared that and said that's not true. Like the ex is actually stalking or like obsessive with Louis, which totally changes the narrative. So, and I feel like they never clarified that on the show, which now, okay, that's one thing. But then now, when there's so much drama that pertains to Louis on the show and they're not giving the full context, it's making things, like you said, very catastrophic because it makes it seem like he is totally horrible, which I get because they're not showing everything. I totally
Yeah.
get why people think that. But then
They
for me, who is like chronically online, I feel like I'm a crazy person watching the show.
Yeah, because they have, I mean, everyone has an agenda. I don't think that's like groundbreaking. Like, oh my God, they have an
Yeah,
agenda. Like, okay, duh, they have a show to film.
for
But
sure.
it's like they have a agenda of how they want the season to go, how they want these people to be portrayed, how they want us as the audience to receive these people. And it's
Hmm.
just like they're all feeding into it, but it's not working. Like, no one wants to watch this show. Why would you want to watch a show where the people can't even film in the same room without
Yeah.
throwing glass? Like, every other show that's had like a season like that has gotten the boot immediately. I don't understand why Jersey is getting chance after, like, what is this, like the fifth
Chances after
season
chances.
of
And
this
then you told me
storyline?
they don't even have a cash trip this season. So,
Yeah, they don't even
like,
have an end of the year cast trip.
to me at this point as a viewer, I'm feeling a little defeated. Like, okay, so I just found out we're only 4 episodes in and there's no reunion, no cast strip. I'm thinking I don't even want to continue watching. Like, I'll just kind of keep up on social media. I mean, the
Yeah,
show literally drives me nuts anyways. So why am I going to keep watching if there's going to be no resolution at the reunion?
that's the point of the reunion. At least like that's when like truths come out. But if everyone has like legal documents proving that and PIs and like all this shit
Yeah.
and bloggers that are just mudslinging, it's like, why would I watch? Because there's no
Yeah.
reconciliation. That's what's so good about like reunions, I think, and Housewives. It's like, okay, we're not in the heat of the moment. Everyone can cool down. Can we meet in the middle? You fucked up and you
Hmm.
fucked up. Or at
Yeah.
least we can have like some sort of truth. But with them, it's
Hmm.
literally impossible. And that's why we had the reunion we did last year where Teresa
Hmm.
was like, I will never see you again because they cannot have both of them on the show. And she was
Hmm.
right in saying that. But like, you can't kick Melissa off because again, Teresa's going to feel like she runs the show, which she does, but you can't tell, your
You can't
boss
have
can't
her
tell
do
you
that
that.
because then it's like too much. Yeah.
Yeah. And then on the other side, it's the same thing with Melissa. Like, if they got rid of Teresa, Melissa's gonna literally act like J-Lo. Like, I swear they're literally the same person in my head. Like,
Yeah,
their
we'll have to talk about J-Lo
personalities.
soon.
Like,
Yeah.
we'll get into that. But it's like, dude, what the fuck is going on? And I'll be honest, I think the show hit like a what's the word I'm looking for, a like a moral low when
Hmm.
March came on. Something about, she just turns she is just so nasty and has so
Hmm.
much vitriol for her enemies, and she like leans into that, and like that's fine. I would rather be my friend than my enemy. Trust me, you don't want to get on my bad side either. But I have a little bit of a moral compass not to
You're
like
not pushing people in the pool and throwing drinks on top of their head
like what? Like, you are
and
what? Like
contacting their
60,
obsessive ex and going to lunch with them.
yeah, literally 60 plus years old, hair graying, children grown, social security checks coming in, and you're throwing drinks at people. Like, come on, literally, come on. Like,
We are
it's
just so far
disgusting.
gone. It's so
Yeah,
bad.
there's
And
no
like you
saving
said, there's
ourselves.
the problem with them is that there could be no truce. And I
Yes.
feel like it's very hard for either side to give just a little bit. It's like neither side wants to give. Like neither side wants to just admit one tiny side of like why they could be wrong. It's like, okay, well, I might have did this, but it was because of that. Well, I did that because you did this. Well, I did that because you did this. And it just goes on and on and on. And they can never come together. And it's so frustrating to watch. Um, and I was telling you that when I was watching the Vanderpump Rules Reunion part 3, Andy was talking to Lisa Vanderpump and he asked her, why did you not go to your last reunion at Beverly Hills? Just because, Ariana kind of didn't want to show up, but she did. And Lisa was commending her for it. Like, I wouldn't have been able to show up if my husband cheated on me with my mistress at that reunion. And the reason why I didn't show up to my reunion is because I had no intention to reunite with the women. Like, I didn't want to be good with them again. So why go to a reunion when I don't want to reunite? And I
Right.
feel like that really got stuck in Andy's head because it's the exact case for these women on New Jersey. They don't want to come to the reunion to reunite. They want to come to the reunion to show receipts, to pull out evidence, to yell at each other, for John Fuda to fucking come up there and act like a big man and like be a housewife. It's all for the
No.
wrong reasons. Like,
Yeah.
he's sick. They canceled the reunion.
No, someone was like, he got his teeth done in lipo literally for no reason. Like, I know he is
He
sick
is
because it's,
seething.
yeah, like you got 2 seasons and look, your show's already gonna, like, there's no way they're not rebooting it. Like, what is it, 2024? We probably after this will not see Jersey until 2026.
Probably not. And I think deservedly so. Like, last season, I know was hard for them and they had to
Mm-hmm.
make a big decision. Do we get rid of Melissa? Do we get rid of Teresa? Do we get rid of other people? Do we just continue on? And I think the worst decision they could have made was just to continue on. And they
Yeah.
did exactly that. But then at the same time, I think what they were worried about is, okay, like, let's say we like cut off Melissa and then the ratings are really bad. Then Melissa's going to be like, see, it was because of me, or vice versa. If they cut
Yeah.
the Teresa and the ratings are really bad, she's going to say like, see, it was a Teresa show. So I think they, maybe in a way it is good that they didn't cut anyone and they're still showing like, look, people just don't want to see this, period. Both of you
Yeah.
guys, both sides, you guys are fucked right now.
Yeah. Like,
Like,
no one
we
wants
kept
to
the
see
same
you.
exact cast and it's
Yeah.
still fucked. So what are we going to
Yeah.
do?
Start it over, start from scratch, find a neighborhood, find a rich, bougie neighborhood in New Jersey, find a group of friends that, like, some people are frenemies, some people are arch nemesises, but at the, like, we're all trying to make a good show at least for our first season. We all have this opportunity. Lean into that because what we have right now is not working. I did see a tweet, I forgot the user. It was supposed to be like kind of like a blind item, but I guess production, again, this is all allegedly, like someone literally could have just made this up and tweeted it, but it
Oh yeah,
would
you
make
sent me this. It was
sense.
Bravo and Cocktails.
Yeah,
Was like the
about
person that had the
um
blind
yes, that we want to, like, that they're leaning into like athlete, like wax and like
and like
athletes'
rebooting.
wives. Yeah, and rebooting the whole thing because it's like you guys literally no one wants to fucking watch. Why does Below Deck have better ratings than Housewives?
Why is the Valley rated better than the Housewives? The Valley is a spinoff of a spinoff. Are you guys serious?
Yeah. And like New Jersey is iconic. It is.
Yeah, it should
it-
not be to the same
no.
level where you're lower than I mean, the Valley is great, but it's still a
Come
spin-off show. The
on.
Housewives is like a top tier franchise and it's doing lower ratings than that. It's needs to be done. Honestly, I think it would be such a great direction for them to go in the direction of like the NFL kind of sports wives and girlfriends because
Mhm.
I loved Wags. I was so sad when
Yes.
they took it away. It was entertaining and it had like it was a good I think what made it work really well is that they all had reasons to be together even if they weren't friends. So it's like, okay, at
Mhm.
least we have all these people that we could pick from that it's like we kind of have reasons for them to be talking because they have the husbands in common. Whereas like sometimes these housewife shows, they fall flat because they just cannot get a good groove or just like any ensemble cast. They can't get a good
Yeah.
groove of like people really knowing each other, actually being friends, like not liking each other. I think that's why Summer House did so well this season is because everybody just like really grooved well together. And like the first time in a
Yeah.
few seasons, the casting really matters on a show, and New Jersey is just not
Yeah.
cutting it.
Their vibes, like, there's no reason why some of these women would ever be in the same room if not for the show. Like, and they did try
Mm-hmm.
the whole like athletic kind of angle when they had Tiki Barber's wife on there for
Oh yeah, that's
a few
true.
minutes.
She was so
And
boring though.
she was so boring. And again, came on with a chip on her shoulder, trying
And
to
an
pick a
agenda.
fight with someone. I can't even remember who it was. I just remember thinking, like, get this little girl off my screen. And like, she has an interesting story. She literally stole Tiki Barber. She was the nanny.
yeah, we need, you know what? She could have had a more interesting story, but I just think that she
Yes.
didn't want to portray that. She wanted to be like, we're perfect. And it's like, if they
Yeah.
would have came on messy,
No, come on, Messy. I want to see your mess. Lean into your
there's,
Mia Thornton. Like, yes, I stole this old man from somebody. And guess what?
she's so
And I did it.
shameless.
Yeah, and I did it. And now I'm running the show.
I
I don't
know there
think
is
people
plenty
understand.
of crazy New Jersey women out there. There has to be. New Jersey is its own little hub spot for just craziness. And then you
Yes.
mix that with being so close to New York and the people who don't want to, like,
Yes.
settle down in New York, but they still have lots of money and they're coming over to Jersey to settle down. Like, find these people,
Yeah, lean
find
into
the
that.
wags, and just restart it, because at this point,
Yeah.
it's in too deep. If you cut Melissa, if you cut Teresa, vice versa, they're going to think the other side runs the show, and it's just too damaging. Everybody, you know what? Everyone lost. You
Yeah.
guys played yourselves.
No, you played yourself. And you're right. Like, let's get some fresh blood. Let's get some diversity on Jersey. Like, come on. Let's just do something different, because what we've been doing for the past 14 years isn't working anymore. And it hasn't been really been working for the past 5 years, which again, I don't understand why. Like, Roni had what, one really bad season. Like the
And
other
they were
season
like done.
before, like it was not good. But then that's last season was terrible. Didn't get a second chance. Potomac this last season, awful. Literally cut half the cast.
Yep.
Atlanta, terrible this season. Literally cut an entire couch.
Yep.
Literally an
Yep.
entire side of the
Jersey is
reunion
the
got the
only
boot.
one not making adjustments.
Yeah, and I don't know why. So Andy, if you're listening, which you're not, but fix it now.
Please. Yeah. It's the golden era of Bravo may be over.
It's completely over. And it really makes me sad because I feel like I'm at the age to like really understand,
Yeah,
like,
to like get into it and get it, and
yeah,
it's
like
like
where I'm,
over.
yeah, like I'm thinking about like, oh, I want to be a wife, I want to be a mother, like now I'm dealing with like, like family stuff, like that's stuff that you go through and you realize you're going through in your 20s, 30s, 40s, and for the rest of your life. And now I'm finally at this age where I really understand why Housewives is so good. And
Mhm.
it's like you guys are fighting over someone like to tweet.
I know, it's bad. I mean, I'm definitely, if New Jersey is going to get rebooted, which it kind of does seem likely at this point, I will miss it, because that's just like one of those OG
Course.
franchises that you like kind of grew up on with the family. I'm always going to miss those like early seasons, like seasons 1 through 5, just OG prime Jersey. But at the same time, I do believe that almost all of the women on the cast, probably besides the new girls, Fuda and Danielle, I feel like everybody's story has been told. Like,
Yeah.
Teresa's story has been wrapped up nicely, assuming Louis is a good guy. She got
Yeah.
married, hopefully has her happy ever after. The girls are all going off to good schools. We know what happened to Juicy Joe. He's over there now. We're done with that. Melissa, I feel like her story has wrapped up. We know her and Joe have been together for however long now. They have their kids, they have the new house. Like, everybody's story is kind of wrapped up nicely. We don't have to keep going and going and going when they're not
Yeah.
giving us anything. So I think, as sad as it would be, we kind of are done.
It's
Whereas,
very
in
fortunate.
Beverly Hills, Kyle's story is kind of just like restarting now in a new way. She has something new happening. So, it's just, I don't know, the Jersey girls, they're not doing it for us anymore.
No, they're not doing it for anyone, including the network, it seems. So,
Very sad. But
bye.
as we said, we could talk about this forever. But speaking of cancellations, let's talk about Lo, because she canceled her "This Is Me Now" tour.
Ah!
So, what do you think?
I think it's so interesting because she's just someone that's always in the press, right? And
Mhm.
I don't think, again, we come from the world of media, PR, journalism, TV production. So like we know at this point in the game of Hollywood, if you're in the news, it's because you want to be. Let's start there.
Yeah,
Like
that's true.
like people are hiding full on pregnancies, okay? Like if you're making headlines, it's because
You want to
if
be
you have,
seen.
yeah, and you have paparazzi pictures, it's because you want us to see that. And J-Lo has been on a rampage
Like a
of
PR
getting,
tour run.
yes, like she has been on a press tour for like the last 3 years And it really, I feel like, has tarnished her brand. Because you think about J-Lo in like the early 2000s, the Versace dress, she was with P. Diddy and got the fuck out of there as soon as, like, quickly,
Yeah,
and never went
that's
back.
we'll
She
have to bring that back up later.
Yeah, she was freaking Selena, Monster in Law, Enough,
Hmm.
Made in Manhattan. These are all like, I watch these movies now and I'm like, oh my God, I love these movies. And then I
I
forget
used
this.
to love her, and now I'm like, oh my God, she's
Yeah.
so
And
aggy.
now I watch these movies because all they do is run on E all freaking day because that's all
Hmm.
they play over there. And I'm like, who is this person? Because at first we loved J-Lo. And then it was like, as soon as we found out that she can't sing for real, which Mariah Carey has literally always been telling us, my messy Aries queen, we were all like, we hate J-Lo. And I'm like, oh God, like, guys, like, it's J-Lo. But now, the past 3 years, like, divorce, and then they're together, and then the mess of it all. And this is me now. And I came out with 2 documentaries, a movie. I'm from the Bronx. Don't you forget it. And then I'm going on this world tour that no one freaking bought tickets to. I'm getting a divorce from the biggest loser in Hollywood. And now I'm canceling my tour. And Vegas, I had a Vegas residency set up. Like,
Yeah,
he performed at the inauguration. Like, I don't think J Lo realizes like she's J Lo, but also she like is too in tuned with the fact that she's J Lo. Like, I don't. She's
it's
an
like all
enigma.
too much. Yes. So yeah, it says Jennifer Lopez has canceled her summer North American tour, and it says that she wrote to her newsletter, heartsick and devastated about letting you down. Please know that I wouldn't do this if I didn't feel that it was absolutely necessary. I promise I will make it up to you and we will all be together again. I love you all so much. Until next time. And it says that it's citing that Jennifer is taking time off to be with her children, family, and close friends. So that's what it says. Obviously, people online are like, no, it's because she was not selling enough tickets. So I'm sure it's a
Yeah.
combination of both. Like she's going through it right now with the divorce. It's probably embarrassing and hard to be up on stage. And then on top of that, ticket sales apparently are not doing super well. I mean, I think it's not like all J-Lo. Like people want to blame all J-Lo. Like, yes, she is crazy. But I think there's like a weird thing going on with concerts right now where one, we are literally in a recession. People can't just be shelling out so much money on concerts anymore. And I think that another part of it is like Beyonce and Taylor Swift kind of set the stage for live
Yes.
concerts again this year. But I think people are forgetting like they are not Beyonce or Taylor Swift and they do not have the league of fans that they have.
No.
Like J-Lo is great, and I know she's a pop star, but we are not on the same level as those two women. And they kind of like literally popped out and showed. And every time I say that, I think of it in Kendrick's voice. Sometimes you gotta pop out and so
It's
they literally did that. And I think everybody thinks they can do that now, and it's just not the same.
No, also J-Lo, like, you like this last album, like, I don't think anyone listened to it. That, whatever, that's besides
Please.
the point. Like, just go on a greatest hits tour. Like,
Well,
something like,
no, Becky, that's what happened.
oh, it was the
So
greatest hits.
it wasn't this is me whatever now, and then it wasn't selling, and then she rebranded it to a greatest hits, and it
Oh,
still isn't selling. I was just about to say that.
oh my
They
God. Well,
tried. They really,
she
her PR team
tried.
tried. They tried.
Really tried. No, honestly, Lo really has been a punching bag for the media for the past year. But like, she does it to herself. Like, again, I don't think Lo realizes she's Lo, but I also feel like she lends in
It's too
too
much
much
sometimes.
to the fact that she's Lo, and she, when my hair is like this and my looking crazy, and I remember my days in the Bronx.
I only use olive oil to make my skin look this good still. Please.
And then she had, I don't know if you saw that TikTok of her at the Met Gala. That was another
Oh yeah, just being
beat
like just so
down.
quick with like
Just
the
so
reporter.
nasty, so rude. Who are you wearing? Schiaparelli. And the people were like, see, you're not even nice either. Like, You
I'm
are
trying to
begging.
report on you and give you virality, and you're gonna give me attitude.
No, literally. Like, do you want the attention or not? Because the attention she's getting right now is really bad when she could have just closed her mouth and sat down. Like, for real. Like, no, no, I don't think anyone was asking for a JLo tour or 2 documentaries or a movie. And now she's on this movie on freaking Netflix and it's like #1 in the world. And I'm like, I feel like Netflix, every movie you guys put out is the #1 movie in the world. Like,
I know. So sus. Their whole
what is
rating
going
system.
on,
I am
JLo?
curious because yeah, there is just a lot going on with her in the media right now. And I did hear somebody try to allude that like she's having this divorce stuff come out and this tickets, whatever, the cancellation of the tour coming out because she wants to separate herself from the Diddy drama. But it's like,
What?
why are we even including her in this? Like she did something
Yeah.
bad. Like let's just leave what he did on him. We don't need to
Yeah.
include women in it that he dated.
No, not I don't think anyone was doing that, to be honest. If anything, people were giving her like commending her because as soon as
Well,
they got in
like deep in the
trouble,
blind item round, people are like, she
mm,
had something to do with it. And it's like, okay, sometimes we gotta like
no.
literally take our head out of our ass, out of the online world for a second. Like, do you realize that you are blaming a woman for his actions, like his crimes? Like, yes,
Yeah.
JLo's annoying, but be for real.
Oh gosh, JLo, JF, because she legally changed her last name.
JF.
Oh my goodness. Well, she loves love, and that's for sure. But I'm reading up, okay, on like the whole P. Diddy J Lo thing and how she broke up with
What's
him,
it
and how
say?
I think like this could have been like, if anything, this is like good PR because like we see you, girl. Like we knew, now we know for sure you were in danger.
What you knew.
But
Yes.
in 1999, Lopez and Combs were arrested for a charge of criminal possession of a weapon and stolen property after leaving a scene of a shooting at Times Square. Charges against Lopez were dropped within an hour, while Combs was acquitted for everything. They broke up shortly after. Like
So to me, that sounds like she was with him. He got in a bad situation and they got caught together. And she was like, after that, when her name got scrubbed, she was like, never again, bitch. You will not be seen with me again.
no, exactly, and
I
it's
am
like,
not part of that. I might be Jenny from the block, but I'm not in that ghetto shit.
yeah, she said, I'm not shooting people up at freaking Times Square. Are you kidding me? Like, and then after that, Enough came out, the movie where she's like a domestic violence victim. So the wheels are turning. Like I
Their PR,
see,
her PR team.
like we see what you're doing, and it was so respected up until like I don't know if that divorce from Mark Anthony, like I don't know what happened, but it used to be so good for JLo, and now it's so bad. Like we're literally watching
PR
her
team, if you're
demise.
listening, just like literally make her go mute, make her go silent. She doesn't need to keep going on these pap runs like for the paparazzi. Just stay at home, silence, and let people forget about it. People have squirrel brains. Like we know this. People will literally forget about this in a year. But the thing is like, could J-Lo sit around for a year and not do anything? No. This is
No.
why we always have these problems. Like sometimes people need to take a break. And then, like, think of Taylor Swift, for example. She was so overexposed. She had to take a break. And when she came back, it like made her 10 times more popular
Mm-hmm.
to the point where it's like she's getting to that overexposure limit again. And it's like, you need to start taking a break soon.
Yeah, like
Because
again,
the
it goes
public is
back.
getting too much.
Yeah, it goes back to that like gatekeeping thing. Like, okay, you are so famous, you're doing a Kardashian numbers where you're like always in the freaking headlines. And even now, we're burnt out from them. Like, we
Yeah.
used to respect it, and now we're like,
Yep.
okay, bitch,
Every
enough
person
is
is too much at a
enough.
certain point.
Yeah. Well, J Lo, um,
So at least Jennifer Lopez gave everybody refunds. I mean, that should be expected. Literally, she canceled it. She needs to give refunds. But it's interesting because I don't know if you guys have heard the Jonas Brothers, they postponed their tour. And a lot of people are not happy about the way that they handled the situation because since they postponed the tour or like rescheduled it to another date, they didn't give refunds. But a lot of the people have something else to do on those dates now. It's like, okay, well, I was, I bought it for this
Right.
specific date. And now you're telling me it's going to be like 6 months from now. I planned a trip to Europe. I can't go. And it's like, well, too bad. No refund for you. And they also didn't really give a good enough reason to why they postponed it. They were just like, something big is coming and we just need to like postpone. And to me, like it rubbed me the wrong way because
Yeah.
you should be thinking of your fans first. They literally are letting you afford this lifestyle and then you could do your fun little exciting thing. But if like something major needs to come out in the next few months with the Jonas Brothers to justify this whole like weird postponing thing and no refund shit they did.
I doubt anything with the
I
Jonas
doubt it's
Brothers
anything. That's
is
why it's like
that
annoying.
big. No, like Sophie's probably taken Joe's ass to freaking court. That's what it is.
That's what a lot of people suspected. That's so funny.
What are
You
you?
clocked that so fast.
No, because what do you mean? Like, don't think we forgot Miss like anything for my princess of the North, Queen of the North. Okay. I don't play
Exactly.
about her at all. So, and now I'm finding out that you are essentially scamming young women because that's who's going to see the Jonas Brothers. It's our age
No,
demographic.
and I was literally a Joe stan. Out of I like you know how there's like some girls who are like Justin Bieber, the Jonas Brothers. I was a Jonas Brothers girl, and
Yeah.
then out of the Jonas Brothers, you each had a girl. I was such a Joe girl. Like that was one of my first crushes growing up. And when I tell you, I cannot be more like just grossed out, icked out by this man now after what he did to
Yes.
Sansa. Are you kidding me?
Like the
To
princess
my
queen
Queen
of
of the
the
North?
North? Like, are you kidding me?
Absolutely not. Like I just don't
No.
like the way he handled this situation. And then, like, on top of it, with like now this new whole postponing situation, I'm like, what are the Jonas Brothers up to? What are they doing? Like, they're
Nothing.
so sneaky.
No, they're so questionable and weird. And that's what I'm talking about. Like, they try, like, I don't know what COVID did to people to make everyone think that they could revive their career. Tom Brady, Jonas Brothers, J-Lo. No,
Speak
leave
on
it
it.
where it is. Like, you're ruining your legacy. Bow out with some
Bethany.
race. Bethany, yeah, all of them. Like, I don't know what's going on. And also, something that radicalized me about the freaking Jonas Brothers is that they're a cover band.
Shh, don't say that out loud. No,
They,
when the year 3000, when I heard that was not their song, like
oh,
I grew up, I was like, that is the Jonas Brothers song.
of course, I thought it was the Jonas Brothers song, just to find out that they stole it from the British pop rock band called Bust.
I mean, that okay, I'll give them credit because at least like if you could remake a song that well that people thought it was you, then you probably did something right. But at the same time, all this drama for the cover band.
Yeah, for a cover band with
I
one
feel
brother
like sick
missing.
saying that out loud as like a previous fan. I was like, I couldn't even say a cover band. I was like, uh.
No, it's horrible. I'm trying to see like what other songs like they've covered that we think are theirs.
Yeah, I actually need some more evidence before I call them a cover band because like my stand card right now, I'm crying.
Uh,
Not my stand card when I haven't listened to them in years.
no, literally haven't listened to them since
Don't
2011.
follow any of them on social media, but it's just the people you grew up with in middle school, like those first people that you really went hard for. I will ride or die for them probably forever. Like that will be the Jonas Brothers, that will be Miley Cyrus, and that will be Zac Efron in the HSM cast.
Oh, of course,
I
it
will
will
always go hard for
always.
Vanessa Hudgens and Zac Efron.
Are you kidding? The Cheetah Girls? Okay, these are some of their covers. I don't remember literally any of these. 6 minutes? Question mark. I want to be like you. I do remember
Okay,
that one, and
yeah.
I do know that's a cover. Joyful Kings, We Three Kings, obviously a cover. Kids of the Future,
Okay.
The Beautiful Letdown. I don't that's a recent one. That one was 2023.
Okay, you know what? I'm not gonna call them a straight up cover band, but they do covers.
They do a lot of covers that they were honest
You
about.
know who is a straight up cover band? Tom Sandoval and the Most Extras. I
Please.
will be, and because of that, I cannot compute the two in my head together. I will not allow it.
No, there's no, I'm sorry. In 2024, there is just no reason why a cover band should be
Should
going on
exist
tour.
anymore.
going
No.
on tour at that. Are you?
In 2024, there's no reason for Tom Sandoval to still be a thing. And I just saw that he's rumored to be on the cast of the new season of Traitors. And if that's actually it,
Ew.
and you ruined my fun, lighthearted, campy show with a toxic, narcissistic, abusive man.
That is, I wouldn't be surprised because he's literally such a villain. And
Just
like,
like the biggest sigh. Like, and I just know he's
yeah,
gonna be on there. Like, I'm just imagining it. I literally like I want to have tears are gonna start welling up in my eyes
I
now.
think
I'm
honestly
like,
though, I
leave
won't
me
even.
alone.
No, I wouldn't even mind Sandoval being on there because I know all the women on that show are gonna tear him up. Like they are going to do everything in their power to get him
That would
off.
have been the season to have him and Phaedra on. Like, oh my
Yes.
God, Phaedra was reading these clowns down, like up and down every round table. And I would have paid money just to watch Phaedra
Yes.
uncensored go off on Tom Sandoval.
Like
So, whichever housewife
that's
is there, I really hope they're a reader because I'm going to need somebody to back up my girl Ariana in the Housewives Bravo arena and
yeah.
come for him. Don't let him feel comfortable just because he's in the
Don't
Bravo sphere.
because
Don't let him.
I saw something about Teresa being on there and I was like, oh well that's not gonna last long. Like
Then I saw, yeah, she wasn't on like the latest rumored cast. I actually saw Dolores was on there. So I really don't know what to believe. I
me
kind of hope
neither.
it's not Dolores because,
Me neither.
I know we like Dolores, but it's like, that's so boring.
Yeah. I
I
hope
don't think she's going to
it's
give anything in a setting like the Traders.
no. I did see something about Kenya and like this could be fake, but I hope it is Kenya just so I can see scenes between Kenya and Sandoval. So
Oh
she
my
could
God. See,
because
I would be
that
okay with that.
yeah, that is a shade assassin. Like you won't even see it coming. And
Yes.
like she's already like her wheels are already turning on how to read this psycho down because she's had plenty of experiences with crazy ass, scamming ass men. So this like honestly, like it might
I
be the
hope
most watched
so.
season if it's those two because that is a duo I'd like to see.
Yeah, and I honestly I don't trust Teresa to be a good
No.
enough reader to read anybody down. Like I don't even know if she would be good on Trader. She would literally just be sitting there with her mouth open, like just like she wouldn't be able to catch up fast enough to
Oh
say
my
anything.
gosh, Teresa.
Oh, okay. So this is the rumored Traders US season 3 cast. And I don't know if this is true or not. I don't even know if I should give this person like a shout out. This person, like whoever it is, but it's if you want to see it's reality TV __ fan. So a few like notable people. Okay, so it says, Tom Sandoval, and then we have Robin Dixon, Housewives of Potomac. Interesting. Not sure if it'll be true or not. Dorinda Medley from New York City, and then Dolores Catania, New Jersey, and Mary Cosby, Salt Lake City. So those were the Bravo people. Oh, and Summer House, Sierra Miller. Again, I don't know if this is true or not. I don't know why, but this doesn't seem like a real cast
No,
list.
because that's a
But
terrible
people
list
are
of
like
people.
treating it like it is online. So
Or
I really don't know what to believe. So don't come for me
I'm
if this
just
is
gonna
fake.
start tweeting lies
No,
as if they're to
honestly,
be
I'm like, is
truth.
this real or not? That's why I'm like, do I even give this a shout out? But I had like 300 quote tweets and like all these people are commenting. So I'm like, do they know something we don't?
I hope not because I was not
I
impressed
wasn't
by
impressed
that.
with that cast. And
No.
when I didn't see Kenya on there, I was disappointed because after
Yeah.
you were telling me about it, I was excited to see her on there.
Yeah, that's the perfect person for traders. She was on The
Hmm.
Apprentice. Like
I would
she
have loved to see Candace
has
on there too. Maybe not right
yes.
now with the pregnancy, but like that's
Yeah.
another person who is like very quick witted and fast and could
Yeah.
figure things out. Like she would be entertaining on there. Robin,
Strategist.
what?
Yeah, no.
Like for her to be at the round table, I don't care if you think I'm a traitor. I 100% don't care. Okay,
No,
then
literally,
leave.
literally,
That's gonna be
literally.
her.
Oh gosh, I hope that's not true.
So, anyways, yeah, those are the hot topics this weekend. Very sad because we feel like the Bravo golden era may be over. Lots of cancellations for things,
Yeah.
but lots of things to talk about and gossip about, at least.
Yeah, no, it was a crazy weekend nonetheless, but it made for a good old messy Monday, which we love over here at Gossip Break.
A good old messy Monday to get us through the week because this is like a first long week after the short week last week. So it's
Yeah,
like,
we're
we have
getting
a
through it
full
together,
week
y'all.
now. We needed this on a Monday.
No, for sure. It's cathartic.
All right. Well, as always, remember to please leave us a rating and a review and follow us on social medias. Instagram is at Gossip Break Pod and TikTok is at Gossip Break. And thank you guys so much for listening and gossiping with us. We really appreciate it.
No, we love you guys so much. Like, oh my gosh, like you guys make me feel so special. But like seriously, like our dreams are coming true and I'm just like over the moon about everything. Again, don't forget to leave us a review. Don't forget to download our episodes. It really goes a long way for, us girl bosses, just trying to make our mark on the world. And yeah, thank you. We love you and we'll see you soon.
Bye.